The murder trial of former Mesa police officer Philip Brailsford.
Today in court, closing arguments were presented as Brailsford's life is on the line. Team 12's William Pitts joins us now with the details of what happened.
Well, almost a month of trial came down to today. The last chances to convince the jury that Philip Brailsford should either go to prison or go home.
No one gets to get away with murder because they were a police officer when they decided to kill.
The prosecution trying to tie it all together for the jury. Philip Brailsford accused of murder for shooting Daniel Shaver in a Mesa hotel last year. The call was for a man pointing a rifle at the window of Shaver's room.
Want the female to step out.
Brailsford's body camera caught the whole shooting. Shaver was on all fours, crying, saying, "Please don't shoot me." Shaver reached to his waistband. Brailsford fired, claiming he was in fear for his life. Shaver never had a gun, and the internal investigation said Shaver was probably pulling up his pants.
None of them I could identify or articulate a threat as they're required to do. And yet no one else fired.
Prosecutors called an expert who said reaching for a waistband wasn't enough to pull the trigger, and the 5 officers in the hallway all left out the same information on the police report, that Shaver was crying and begging not to be shot.
And the reason why they didn't put those things about him, his words, and even his demeanor in their reports, those 5 officers, and that's why the defendant didn't mention it. It's because it doesn't help, because it's murder if you say that.
But Brailsford's lawyer called his own expert, who said cops are trained to react in a split second, and Shaver's movement was the same as drawing a gun. The legal standard is what a reasonable officer would have done, and Brailsford's lawyer says a reasonable officer would have shot Shaver too. And Brailsford has already lost his job at the Mesa Police Department. Now the jury has the case and will decide if he gets to keep his freedom. We're in the Live Alert Center. William Pitts, 12 News.